Welcome to another episode of the State of the Bulldogs. Sam, Mike, Jeb, and Grant. Jeb is in the house tonight. Grant and Jeb, boys, how are we?
So close to a quad box. Can't believe Mike would.
I know. His wedding's coming up. I'm sure he's busy.
Yeah, we'll go past.
Yeah, good to be here.
We're excited to talk about last week's poll. We sent out the all-time basketball teams. Jeb, most popular by far. Most popular by far, although we have some fun comments, but we'll get to that first. Boys, softball did not deliver in Chattanooga. Lost both games to eventual champion and in the championship UNCG. Sucks when you're going up against a girl named Brooklyn Schroyer. 2 one-hit gems against the Bulldogs. 2 one-hit gems. In softball, that'll do it. We see that at the very top. If you got the ace pitcher, she'll shut any lineup down, and that's what happened to us. Unfortunate, but we had an awesome season. Came up short of making the NCAA tournament, which is always the goal, but beating top 5 Alabama, making it to the SoCon championship, not much more we could ask for. So awesome season overall. Ran into a buzzsaw on the mound.
Yeah, Samford played 21 games against teams in the top 75 in the RPI too.
That's crazy.
We talked about it: Oregon, Florida State, Mississippi State, Alabama, Auburn, all the big teams. It's like, yeah, to come out with a 28-31 record and then one game away is pretty close. But yeah, 2 one-hit games against the best team in the conference is tough.
On the other diamond, baseball essentially screwed up their chance at the 2 seed, much less the 1 seed. The SoCon is still in chaos, theoretically still in play, but we lost 2 games to 1 against the Citadel in Charleston. 4-10 game 1, 0-8 game 2, and then 5-4 extra innings. Squeaked out a necessary win to stay in the hunt of relevancy in the SoCon. Currently still a logjam. Mercer Western tied at the top, 12-6. Then Wofford, who we finished with at home this weekend, is at 11-7. ETSU and Samford tied at 10-8. The Citadel 8-10. UNCG 6-12. VMI bringing up the rear at 3-15. If we sweep Wofford, we may get the 2 seed, but it's not within our control. And we are probably not going to sweep Wofford based on the results of this past weekend. So, unfortunate that for a moment we are teased with a little bit of hope, and that hope has been dashed. But the boys still have a big series ahead of them if they do not want to play the 1 seed early in Greenville next week. So,
yep, story of the last month and a half, just okay to good, but not good enough. Basically, is the best way to say it. It's like so close, you lose. Have chances. They're right in front of you. You just couldn't take advantage.
Right in front of you. Right in front of you. The opportunities kept presenting themselves. We had a tough non-conference. We get to the conference slate. We feel we get a little bit of boost, and just haven't been able to really create a wave of momentum. But one last series against Wofford. Here we go. Let's go. On a better note, track continues to roll. Men win their 6th straight SoCon Outdoor Championship. Women got 2nd. So track is absolutely a wagon.
Samford got wins in 10 different events. They got the most outstanding athlete. Cole Grand won the 400 meters, and then it was in the 4x100 relay, and then also in the 4x400 relay. So dude racked up 3 first place in that 400 meters. Then Bradley Franklin obviously dominated, wins in the 200 meter and his signature event, the 110 meter hurdles, which we've seen him win over and over again, and have chances to get to win NCAA tournament, win NCAA championship in that event.
Boys, let's not bury the lead. The chatter on Instagram primarily was our basketball all-time teams, which was a very fun exercise. Again, thank you to Jermaine, our biggest fan in Finland. Jeb, with the Roses, won the poll soundly. 60% of the votes. To be fair, Jeb's team is loaded, but it's also loaded with recent studs, which I think a lot of people liked. But Jeb, talk to us about your team And I don't agree with the people, but obviously it was a resounding vote in Jeb's favor. Yeah, they yelled. Jeb, why is your team so good?
Always trying to talk it down, Sam. Kind of throw some water on it a little
Of course.
bit.
Of course, got to keep you humble. No egos, right, Grant?
Comment about how they're more recent players. May I remind you that Samford has been we've had an exceptionally good program more recently because of better players, and therefore
yes,
those players should be highlighted on the all-time Samford basketball team list.
Don't disagree.
So that is my defense. But I'll start out, exceptional skills, just putting together a starting five. I should honestly be on staff. So if
you should be
is listening,
basketball GM
or consultant.
Yeah, what pick did the Hornets have? What pick did the Hornets have again?
Yeah, right. Because they weren't making the playoffs, even though we thought they might be. But yeah, I think, really the way that I looked at it, I was like, who are my favorite players? And then who are my favorite players respectively, like at each position class, right? Whether it's like guard, forward, and then center, right? So really just looking at it, like, I remember the Sharkey days. Sharkey was phenomenal. Obviously, we just watched Booth go absolutely mayhem, nuts. Yeah. And the way that I kind of saw Booth is like, how incredible would he be just sitting at the 2 with Sharkey playing the 1, right?
It would have been so good.
Like if they were playing together, like that would be amazing. Obviously my favorite, and I don't know if I've ever said this on the podcast, and Jermaine, you're one of my favorite players. You're one of my favorite players for sure. You're up there. You're right there next to him. Okay, just want to say this. But AJSM is by far my favorite all-time player. It could be that.
That's a good question.
Oh, I wonder. He didn't leave, which we were all sad about. But watching him make the play that we needed to almost beat Kansas and then get that ripped out was like amazing. I just liked his game all around when he was with us, and I think him at the 3, like that's a solid 3, right? AJSM. Jermaine, obviously probably the best, forward or power forward we've ever had. He doesn't really need much explanation at all. Like he should be on this list. And then Chore, another maybe a sensitive one, right? Because Chore left us. We gave him the opportunity at Samford. He left us. There's all that. But when we're factoring in who's the best of all time at Samford, he needed to be there. Just watching him dominate,
they were very
alley-oops. Yeah. Like it's just like I think this starting 5 is like you're not trying to create like this is more of like a very mobile, athletic starting 5. That's the way I look at it. Like it's an athletic starting 5, like spread the floor, push the ball, play really good like one-on-one defense, man-to-man. I didn't really think that we needed like a huge like presence type center in my 5. Like I really like to have a team that kind of like.
Well, we don't have many to choose from, Jeb. Even if you wanted one.
That's true.
Yeah, we talked about that. We kind of struggle with that front court. It's like who else in that front court? Then we'll run through some names that we didn't mention. But yeah, that front court was a little light until some people brought their attention. Some guys that we could have picked. But yeah.
And Grant obviously thought the same as me. Like he had Jermaine at his 4 and Nachor at his 5, so we were aligned on that. But I just think this would be like an exciting 5 to watch, all worthy of being on this list. And then I thought to myself, I said, all right, well, I didn't put Rylan at the 1 because he could definitely be at the 1.
Yeah.
Right, but you've got Sharkey there.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, well, is Sharkey the 6-man, or is Rylan the 6, or is Rylan the 1? And I just kind of felt like Rylan would be like a fantastic 6-man coming off the bench.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, and with this group, obviously. And then with just his
distributor.
like, as the distributor, he can sink them from deep. He's got like really, I mean, he can drive the ball well too. And it's just, and
he's so good.
Get contact, get to the line. And like, that's just 6-man material when you're looking at like an all-time team, right? Obviously he's a starter if you don't have all these guys. But anyway, that was kind of my thinking behind it. They're also pretty much all of my favorite players, just in terms of talent and what they did at Samford. And I kind of put away the sour taste in my mouth for a couple of them that decided to transfer, and we totally understand that for sure. In hindsight, but I'm honored to be chosen by the internet mob as the crowning champion of this year's all-time Samford basketball team list, and I'm not sure when we'll do it again, but at some point we'll do it.
We're gonna keep the poll up until you're not in first.
And that's when I'm going to create a bot, and then I'm going to just
keep spamming.
Maybe I already did. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, maybe did.
I didn't find out that I won until just now this evening.
It was a lazy bot, Jeb. If you did create one, it was a lazy bot. Not that many votes.
We have to keep it subtle. You have to keep it subtle.
You must have thrown in all these comments. Jermaine Sisters and Mia. Jeb knows what he's talking about. There's a lot of love for Jeb. Tucker Simmons got to go Jeb solely because he has Jaden in his starting 5. Chef James Bricioni said Jeb is smoking all y'all in the poll. Yeah, there is a lot of Jeb love in these comments.
Still, I cannot be convinced that my team wouldn't just dominate everyone's team. But Achor is a difference maker. That's kind of the one guy that would scare me a little bit against you guys. But I trust him.
I have no idea what Michael's doing because he got 0 votes. At least he got 0 votes on it.
Well, because Michael thought he was going to be cool and put Wyatt Walker on there, who played when we were there. And it's like, all right, was Wyatt a good player? Sure. Was he that good? No.
Yeah, on the Instagram comments, Mike came in second compared to Jeb's high percentage. So I don't know.
Oh, really?
Got some love there late. He started small, but again, those mail-in ballots came in a little bit later on Mike's behalf. That's where all those votes came in.
Mike's farming votes.
Yeah.
I just love that we all had Sharky. That was the consensus point guard.
Josh commented too, put it on story. Yeah, Josh was hype about it. Yeah, Josh. Thanks to Josh for posting that. Jermaine.
Well, of course, we all had Jermaine. I mean, Jermaine is probably the most beloved Samford basketball player, I would say, across generations of all time at this point.
Well,
even Jermaine commented.
Oh, sorry, Grant.
Just saying, Jermaine commented, said every team got a pretty good chance on me and Sharky on the floor. I said, yeah.
Dude. Yeah. Could you imagine? Golly.
I was looking at the Twitter comments. SoCon Beefer saying that Quez Glover nowhere on this list is wild.
Yeah.
I don't know about that guy. I don't know about that.
So to be fair,
was this Samford's all-time top injured list, or was it?
Literally. Yeah. To be fair, if Jaden Booth had not won Player of the Year, it was very similar in the sense that Jaden was literally here 1 year. Quez gave us one really good year. I don't think it quite rose to the level of Jaden's year, but he did give us 1 year. But Jeb, to your point, he was hurt half of the second season he was with us and then quit in the last game. So I don't know. He was drama the entire injury season, which, maybe that's fair. I don't know what it's like to struggle that much with an injury, be off and on, whatever.
Yeah.
You can definitely see how mentally you can become derailed in that sense. But to be on the all-time list, I mean, yeah, he had one good season, but I think there's risk when you stay, right? You got the whole picture to look at. You got more data points, and his detracts from the argument, even though Jaden only had one season. And then on the flip side, AJ, who had 4, he does nothing the first couple, and then spikes up. That's a different trend. That's a different trajectory. You're not left with a weird feeling at the end of that one, even though he transferred out for his graduate season.
Yeah, to that point, Quez, sophomore season, actually junior season, 29 games, 19 points per game, 4 assists, 2.8 boards per game, 1.2 steals. But then, just 19 games played in 2022, 2023, the year before, the year after 14.7 points. But that one really good year, then obviously the injuries derailed him a little bit.
Look, we've had 2 emergency podcasts in our podcast history. Both were one-hit wonders. Coach Hatcher and Quez Glover. So do with that what you will.
You know what I saw though? Like I saw a lot of people mentioning Reed Rawlings from the.
He was the consensus snub, Jeb. Yeah. The consensus snub.
Yeah, I wanted to get into some numbers of the snubs that we talked about. Some guys that are top in the comments. Even John Chris posted comment the same thing with Reed. J. Robert Merritt's another name, but we'll start with Reed. He played at Samford from 96 to 2000, 6'7", Samford Hall of Famer, 9th all-time in points.
6'7".
6'7", there it is, sorry. Remember the 400-point club, led the team in points per game, was 16.5 points per game in 1998 and 1999. He was kind of the most consensus Instagram post. In fact, even Win Miller responded to my Instagram story. You need to put Reed. You put Reed on the list. His mom responded to my Twitter post. Said, "Yeah, you need to put Reed on the list." So the Millers are aligned in knowing and saying that Reed needed to put on this list. That was funny. I even said that to Win. Thought that was funny.
A lot of love for Reed.
Exactly. J. Robert Merritt's another name was popular. John mentioned him from 2001 to 2006. He's 6'6", 311 career made threes. He's first. He's now second in Samford all-time, 120 made threes in a single season. Jaden's now first. 8th all-time at points, 500-point club. He was OVC Player of the Year in 2006, and he is a Samford Hall. Actually, he's not a Hall of Famer yet. He probably should be here soon. But 6'6" guy who shot like 48% from 3 or something his junior season. Most was like 3rd best in the country.
That's tempting.
Steph Curry was 6th or 7th that year. But those 2 were kind of the main ones that.
The problem, so Reed was the bigger snub because we had a tougher time finding big men. Even though 6'7", we were cutting a lot of guys who were 6'7" or 6'8". The I guess small forward you just mentioned, what was his name? He was 6'6".
Yeah, J. Robert Merritt. Yeah.
The problem he had is then he was in the group with like Denzel Dyson and Jermaine Marshall and Tim Williams and Craig Beard, like guys who like he was in a group with a ton of options. So that probably explains that. Reed is the one that I'm like, Mike should have gone with Reed if he's going to Wyatt Walker over here.
I think Mark Salyers was probably one that maybe
Mike had him.
Yeah, gotten more consideration.
Yeah.
He's a forward, 6'9", 220.
Yeah.
Averaged about 14 points a game over his career.
You had to put Jermaine in the 3. If you would put Jermaine in the 3, that opens up spots for guys like Mark Salyers. When I put Jermaine in the 4, Grant, you put him in the 4, Jeb, you put him in the 4. That I think is what limited some of those options. Because then, I mean, for you guys, it was easy, a chore, easy.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was gonna say Salyers won TAC MVP, I think twice, maybe.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, TAC
another question
MVP twice. So
another question. The big man, someone comment. I think Bambush Perspective on Twitter. Travis Peterson, 6'11" center, averaged 13 points per game over in his final season. Rebound. Really good rebounder too is another guy, 6'11", so he could have been in that big man equation. And then another guy who's kind of in that point guard equation, kind of with Sharky too, Joey Davenport. He responded in the comments. He played at Samford from 92 to 96. His name is on the family. His name is on the practice court. Samford Hall of Famer, 4th all time at points. Remember the 400-point club twice over his career. Most free throws attempted and 2nd most made in Samford history. Led Samford.
We talked about adding him. Like he was in our discussion.
Yeah, Samford points per game, 19.4. So he did hold the record for most assists ever in career. Then Sharky beat that, so he's up there too. So he would.
Yeah, I mean,
be
that's
in
again,
in
that's
the
the
mix.
problem. Like you
Yeah.
could put him like Sharky's automatically the one, auto one. So maybe you put that, like if you really wanted another point guard, you put him at
Yeah.
the 6th. Jeb went with Rylan. I don't disagree with that. I went with my favorite player, AJ. You know, that, I mean, that's the thing. It's like at a certain point, if you took the bias out and you went straight numbers, but then if you would have to, the problem is you would have to take into consideration the conference we were playing in. So it can't all just be stats. I think if you make it to the NBA like Craig Beard, okay, it doesn't matter what conference. That guy was the best player of all time, probably in Samford basketball history.
There are only 2 draft picks of all time out of Samford. So
who's the other one? He should have been on here.
There's another guy we haven't mentioned who's on your team, Steve Barker, a really good shooter. We joked off air that he played. I forgot the exact years that he played, but he played right before Craig Beard. Barker was originally the career points leader for Samford. Then Craig Beard just follows it up with his own career, literally the years after Barker left. So it's pretty weird. Like Barker was kind of that guy, but Barker's another guy, 6'3", 6'4", near the guard spot too that you had.
It was Layman Williamson, Sam.
Yep, 1973.
6'3", forward, from Greensboro, North Carolina. So
Tar Heel. Could have picked him.
Tar Heel State, by the way, not the we're the Tar Heel State. I'm not making a bias.
Is that what North Carolina is? North Carolina the Tar Heel State? Is that what y'all are?
Yes.
Yeah, the Mississippi's the basket weaving state. Is that it? Is that
Dude, that's a whole conversation that I am shocked is going on.
I have Mississippi coming into this conversation on my bingo card.
I also love how few people know Confederate roots of various SEC mascots. It's like, yeah, you don't really want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I don't.
But
yeah.
Anyway, that was a fun exercise. We got to get, we got to do a little more research on some of the older guys who we aren't necessarily familiar with. We should have given more love to the, to let teams, especially, the one that made the NCAA tournament, or the 2 that made the NCAA tournament. But I don't really, frankly, I don't see anything wrong with picking all recent guys like Jeb, because Jeb, you're right. Like, this was the golden era of Samford basketball with Bucky. It's going to make sense if a lot of your best players are in that span. And obviously, if you put them all on the court today, the athletes today are better than the athletes yesterday. So from that standpoint, they probably win. But
yeah, because you're always pushing the limits of what everyone's done before you. So
right.
Yeah, and Jeb had a good point. If Jaden didn't have the year that he had, he wouldn't be on the list either, and you'd have another guy to throw in that mix. Whether it is Davenport with 2 point guards, whether you want to throw another guard on there, that Quez, like you said, for example.
I mean, even it maybe would have been Rylan at the 1, Sharky at the 2, and then I'm throwing, maybe someone like Quez at the 6 or something.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't play anyway.
Depends what style you play. You're going to play Buck. You're going to play 24 guys, or if you're just going to have 5 guys out there play all 40 minutes.
Here's an interesting thought, though. If you had to pick one guy to be the guy that you would nominate for Hall of Fame.
What do you mean?
Samford Hall of Fame.
Like if we had to pick one guy from our teams?
Yeah.
Are we all picking Jermaine?
I know.
Yeah.
I guess it's a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, I feel like J. Robert Merritt deserves to be for the career he had, OVC player of the year 2006, if you want to go that far back. But Samford Hall of Fame's only 7 years old, so it's going to take some time, obviously, for those guys to cycle in.
I mean, yeah, they just let Michael Pierce in this year. So one of the most, not the most accomplished, but one of the most accomplished NFL players from Samford.
Yeah.
Cortland Finnegan. He's already on there, though, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Finnegan or Tart is more? I think I'm leaning Tart. Finnegan, though, was all pro.
Well, there's Corey White, Cortland
Yeah.
Finnegan,
Yeah.
James Bradbury, Jaquaski Tart.
Tard and Bradbury are the only ones with Super Bowls that started, I should add.
Played in Super Bowl, yeah.
Because we had the quarterback, the journeyman quarterback for a day.
They also have the
Hogan.
highest draft capital in the NFL. They're both second round picks.
Cortland Finnegan beat up Andre Johnson, so we got that going for him.
Oh, epic. That rivalry was awesome because I loved Andre Johnson.
Can we play that video, Grant, for the podcast? Just I don't know, just to shoot it back or no? I haven't seen that video
I remember it like it was yesterday because it was so shocking. Just so shocking.
Yeah, I can pull it up. Yeah, it's funny.
Football fights,
Yeah.
especially amongst corners and receivers, are just a good laugh because let's be real.
Yeah.
They're not really doing anything.
So to Jeb's point, should Jermaine and Bucky just go in the same class together whenever that happens?
Yes. I mean, I think you could make an argument for a Chore to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he will be politically because of what happened or how it all happened, but
Who was John's recommendation? Oh, there it is. He's pulling it up. Roll it back.
That keeps going. Yeah.
we're not to the fight yet.
Yeah, for the audio, this is Cortland Finnegan, Andre Johnson back in the day. Yeah, here you go.
Boom. Andre just unloading. Dude, he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's massive.
Sam and
crazy.
Sam and I saw Andre at it on field. That we had those on field passes.
Yeah,
at
we
that
should have.
Texans game. I know we should have.
I still regret not saying hi and getting an autograph.
Yeah.
Or at least a picture or something.
Yeah, here's the close up. Ooh, Andre got 2 punches in. Never mind.
Yeah. Andre's a big receiver.
Yeah,
Miami versus
Cortland was
Samford.
not.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
But Cortland was so good.
Yeah, that was
Those
great.
Titans teams weren't bad either.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the Jeff Fisher golden days.
Yeah, 7th round pick, Cortland was.
Or I guess the tail end of the golden days for Jeff. That was kind of that's when things started going downhill after that kind of the core of that team. But anyway,
Good old Jeff.
Yeah, then he turned into Mr. 9-7.
Yeah.
Mr. 9-7.
draft purgatory. I mean, it's kind of what happened to Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens to the Steelers, but hopefully not the fate of the Titans, who just forever in NFL purgatory.
They better
Anyway.
sign Duck back.
Yeah. Any other comments, boys, on the all-time team? I guess the summer, while y'all are thinking of any last comments, the summer interviews, we got to start doing those because it's already May, middle of May. And we got to do our Jeopardy episode. Our Jeopardy episode and then interviews. Because baseball will be the last team that has a tournament, and that's next week. And assuming we don't make a miracle run in Greenville, we'll be done with Samford sports before May.
So
And then we'll be
we can have
doing the Jeopardy episode.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Do what, Joe?
Yeah, whatever.
The Jeopardy episode again this year.
Yeah, we got to. That was too fun.
Yeah. There will be, let's see, 5 of us total since Blake and Beck already called dibs on getting on, so there'll be y'all 5 battling it out.
So that's not very fair that your brother.
I agree.
So maybe we handicap him. Maybe he starts at like minus 1,000. Just thought.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. Well, good thing
I know Mike's going to grumble. He's going to be like, oh, that's not fair.
I was going to say, I do know we have an offsite scheduled in a couple of Saturdays at Mike's wedding, and we can hammer the details out then.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Arguably
Well, with
offsite.
that, any other comments, boys?
Would
Jeb, revel in your glory.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go celebrate with my wife.
Pop some champagne.
Pop some champagne. It is it's getting late though. It's a school night.
Hey yo,
a work night. Hey, shout out to all the seniors though. I think they'll be graduating either this week, next week. I don't know.
Soon.
Congrats. And for everyone else, good luck on finals, and Bulldogs out.
Bulldogs out. Hope everybody has a. Oh, go ahead, Grant. No, you go.
No, I was going to say, speaking of some interviews, if there's anybody y'all want to hear from or listen to, just reach out to us and we'll see if we can get it done.
Yeah, because we're getting them lined up now. So now's the time. Voice your opinion. State of the Bulldogs is out. Hope everybody has a fantastic week.